What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching a mini documentary about Poland. Did you know that Poland is right now the safest country to be in Europe? While a lot of countries in Europe are seeing a lot of political troubles, a lot of clashes with the immigrants versus the citizens. But in Poland, apparently they say and they claim that they have a lot of safety. So today we are going to watch a documentary, a mini documentary actually, about life in Poland. And this gentleman here is Mr. Dominic, who is a member of the European Parliament, and he's well known on for his stance against anti-immigration mindset, you can say. He's very strict about the immigration policies in Europe. So when you compare Poland to other European countries, Poland is different in the way that Poland is not so very tolerant towards accepting anybody and everybody when it comes to accepting refugees. For example, if you think of other European countries, like you can think of United Kingdoms, for example, they accept a lot of refugees. They are very open with the open border mindset. Countries like Canada, very refugee friendly countries. But Poland, on the other hand, is not so refugee friendly. They are more like, they want quality people. They want people who are not going to create problems for their country. So let's just watch this documentary and let's see what they have to say.
Let's say I want to go through this wall. I break through the wall. What happens to me next?
You will die like a dog.
The lowest unemployment in European Union is Poland. The highest GDP after COVID, Poland. One of the lowest debts, Poland.
This is Dominic, a member of the European Parliament from Poland, the country that just approved a new measure to shoot and kill anyone that tries to illegally enter their border.
Unfortunately, one of our soldiers was killed with a spear.
Because they behave like animals, unfortunately. They don't behave like civilized people. We are the ones with this border. So we are protecting the whole Europe.
But Poland's strict border control and refusal to take in refugees from non-neighboring countries like Syria and Afghanistan has caused the EU to propose a €22,000 fine for each person Poland refuses to take in, and guys like Dominic to be labeled Islamophobic and fascist.
And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why Poland is so safe. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
When I see the wall, I do understand that this is for my future children.
Does Poland's strict border policy work? Is Poland significantly safer than the rest of Europe because of it? And do the people of Poland want open borders?
Poland are racist. We are proud of it. And I don't really want any immigrants in my country, you know? Thank you, man.
Before meeting with Dominique, I headed to the capital of Poland, Warsaw, to see what the locals thought of Poland's border and their border patrol now being able to kill migrants illegally trying to enter their country. At university, what are a lot of the students' thoughts on, shooting down illegal immigrants who come through the border?
I've never heard about it.
Okay.
But, yeah, okay.
It is bad because I don't see any purpose to use a gun for the person. First of all, we need to talk. We need to identify the intention of other person.
Oh my god, that's like a tough question.
It's a crazy question, right?
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm not sure how they're controlling the borders, but I saw a lot of refugees in the Centrum here.
There are a lot of immigrants all around Europe, and sometimes it can be dangerous for the Europeans.
What are your thoughts on if you came here illegally? What should be done?
Oh, I guess I should go in prison.
Do you feel safe here in Poland as a woman?
Yeah, very much.
Do you feel safer here in Poland as a woman than you do in India?
Yeah, it's more safe.
Yeah,
it's more safe. A lot safe.
You can walk, go to work at night, and nobody.
So this is what happens when any country basically accepts a lot of people. And in my opinion, any small country, whenever the population of a place is small, whenever you have too many people coming into any country, there's going to be chaos. It won't be clean. I don't think it's possible to keep a country with a lot of people in it clean and safe, because whenever the volume of people increase, all those issues are going to come up. That's just natural in that sense. So it's neither of the situations. For example, what Poland is doing here, Poland wants to keep its streets safe and nice, which is good for the people who are living there. Now, obviously, it's not good for people who are suffering. People, maybe they need to come to Poland, like refugees who don't have anywhere else to go, and maybe they could get a shelter in a country like Poland. But if they're denied the opportunity that closes that window, that closes the door for them to survive, that's bad for them. Sure, it's a bad if you are them. So inclusivity is about, like, you are gonna bring people in, but you have to be aware that with people you are also inviting the problems that they're gonna bring with them. And I mean, well, both, like I said, both the situations has its pros and cons. Neither is in life. It's just like this. No matter what choices you make, you gotta accept the cons along with the pros. You have to accept the cons that's gonna come with it. So no situation probably is perfect. Is it possible to create a perfect world? Maybe, but then what is a perfect world? It's a subjective word in its own right. Perfection. Maybe a world that is too perfect might be also boring. A world that is boring where nothing is happening. Everybody's just living their lives, and it kind of can get boring. Which is why probably when you see stability, whenever you see world peace, right? We are all striving for world peace, right? Everybody wants peace and satisfaction and happiness, so we are all working towards it. And let's say we achieve world peace, right? Everyone is peaceful, there are no wars, nothing. But then I think out of boredom, some country or some leader of some country is going to just start a war, because they're just going to subconsciously or unconsciously, they're going to start a war just to eliminate their boredom. I mean, they're not going to know that that's the reason why they're doing it, but deep down, maybe that will be the psychological process that leads to war. Maybe people don't like peace. I don't know. I just think that might be a reason why there never seems to be a permanent peace in the world.
Nobody cares and nobody's like threatening you.
It's not very safe.
No?
Really, crossed from the main streets.
Yeah.
I really feel not very safe because there are some strange people.
Here?
Yes.
Yeah, like men in general.
Oh, some sick people.
Okay.
They frighten me.
Who should the border keep out? Who should it let in Poland?
Nice people, kind, and with good heart.
Okay. Do you think having a more strict stance on the border keeps Poland safer, or?
So from my own experience, I can tell you this. In a country, if the police is not feared, if the police are too easy and too soft, then I'm afraid that in that place or in that country, you will not find a lot of safety, because police is what is the job of police? The job of police is to enforce the law. They are enforcers of the law. If they are soft and weak and very like if you go to a country where the police are very friendly, there's a possibility that that place might not have a good sense of law enforcement. It's possible. I'm telling this from my experience, because when I was in Canada, I saw that the police are nobody is afraid of the police in Canada. So what happens is drug addicts harass tourists and outsiders whenever they see, like they can see and know, right, that this person is not from here originally. They have come from other countries. So they what they do is these drug addicts, a lot of them in cities like Toronto, they target these outsiders, tourists, or maybe students or whatnot. They target them and they start bullying and harassing them. And it happened to me personally too on 2 occasions. It was not very severe, but it could have. I didn't feel safe. Like it could have escalated from that. Like I just smartly maneuvered myself away from that situation. But what I observed was like the people who were like the drug addicts who were harassing me. They were present. They were doing so in the presence of like it was happening in daylight, and it was happening in the presence of police. Like literally, a cop car was standing next to me, and there was a police officer just chilling. You know, he was just there watching the whole situation unfold. I mean, he wasn't even watching. He didn't even bother. I got the feeling that it's very normal there. I mean, in Toronto, downtown Toronto, if you go, you can find so many drug addicts. Broad daylight, they're gonna harass the tourists who are sitting over there, and not just the tourists. I even saw white people being harassed, who are like white Canadians or Canadian citizens who are obviously like, I saw an old gentleman. You can tell he's born and raised. He's a like Canadian, like a proper Canadian, whatnot. And he was being harassed, and I just saw the look of. I mean, he's just so used to it. I mean, that's what shocked me, that he's really used to it. And I was like, what? I thought that Canada is a first world country, and my expectations were like people are gonna like this kind of thing. I never experienced in India. Growing up in India, no drug addict is gonna come in front of a police officer. I mean, that doesn't happen. Broad daylight, I never even saw a drug addict. Like in India, I see drug addicts secretly lying under some flyovers or some bridge, and secretly injecting their needles in their veins. But in Canada, you see them doing so as if it's their God-given birthright. They're so free and so powerful, these drug addicts. They shoot the syringes up their veins in front of people as if like it's just so normal. Injecting heroin or fentanyl is so normal. This channel, he made a same documentary about he showed the everyday life of people in Vancouver, and it's like, maybe I'll do another video about that one. It was shocking. It was pretty shocking. So I just don't get it. Like law, I believe law should be enforced. As an example, if you look at Dubai, why do you think Dubai is so safe? Dubai is safe because the laws over there are so well enforced. Nobody even thinks of breaking the law, because nobody wants to even dream of going to a jail in Dubai, because it's not good. It's not very friendly, you know. The police officers are not the police officers. Your jail life in Dubai, your prison life, is not very. You won't like it. I mean, but yeah. But in Canada, or not just in Canada, in European countries, Canada, these liberal countries, people have too much freedom. When you give too much freedom to ordinary people, they abuse it. It's not good for everyone. They're gonna, it's not gonna be safe. So a lot of people are gonna just do a lot of stuff. I don't know. It just maybe you gotta accept what comes with that freedom. Like I said, I mean, you cannot have it both ways. If you want safety, then you're gonna have to compromise on freedom. If you want freedom, then you're gonna have to compromise on safety. You can't have it both ways. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I know that many people have that opinion.
Okay.
I want to believe that it doesn't really matter from which country you're coming.
Okay.
If you apply to the culture.
I'm really surprised that Polish people can speak good English. I mean, I thought that, but generally you go to other countries, they actually don't speak a lot of English. In whichever country you go to, in my experience, like in India, people speak a lot of English. Like they're very good at English. But you go to China, for example, most people don't know English in China. And in other European countries, they speak their own like national languages. And in South America, they speak mostly Spanish and Portuguese, which is fine. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect it. But again, it also has its pros and cons. In India, we don't have our identity in that sense. Like we are so inferior. Like we have to. We have this sense of language inferiority, because in India, the problem is there are so many languages, so you cannot even enforce Hindi as a national language. For example, in Poland, there's only one language, Polish. They just speak Polish. In China, they speak Chinese. In Japan, Japanese. So every country has their own centralized language. But in India, it's so hard to do it because India has so many languages, right? Every state has a different language. So if you come up and say you're gonna have Hindi as the central language of India, a lot of people are not gonna be happy. And as you can see on social media and in real life as well, they're not happy, right? If you say for example, so many states in south of India, they don't they don't want to speak Hindi. They just don't. They feel like they're jeopardizing their own cultural identity by speaking Hindi. I mean, it's just a tricky situation, which is why we have to also rely on English. We cannot forego English totally. We cannot totally get rid of English. In China, for example, if you use a laptop or a smartphone, they use that in their own language. They type on the keyboard. They type in Chinese. They don't type in English. Like we use English keyboards, right, on our computers and on laptop, whatever. But in China, the keyboards are everything. Everything is completely Chinese. All the stop signs and the road signs and everything. Road signs. Then on the public display, advertisement, everything. Every single thing is in their own language. But in India, it's hard to enforce that, because of so many languages, and which makes India culturally such a rich country. There are so many cultures, and it's so beautiful that all the different cultures coexist and live together. It's wonderful in that sense, but it also has its downsides.
It's gonna be fine.
Safety has nothing to do with the border.
Okay, nothing?
Nothing.
What are your thoughts on immigration in Poland?
Я сам являюсь политическим иммигрантом, и поэтому не мне отвечать на этот вопрос. Я пока не сталкивался с какими-то негативными проявлениями в свой адрес.
Why did you come from Belarus to Poland?
Я политический активист, и обратной дороги в Беларусь мне на данный момент нет.
How was your experience going through the Belarusian-Polish border?
У меня чуть другой маршрут. Я прилетел из Грузии. Я жил в Тбилиси некоторое время. Поэтому в моем случае без экстрима обошлось.
Я считаю, что здесь женщине безопасно. И заниматься бизнесом тоже очень хорошо.
What are your thoughts on their stance on illegal immigration and the idea that they'll kill you if you try to illegally enter through the border?
Я считаю, по международному праву все страны защищают свою территорию. Но это на законодательном уровне. Никто из хозяев, если есть граница, существует, должны соблюдаться законные эти данные. Поэтому, если ты нелегально пересечаешь, ты территориальную целостность защищаешь. Считаю, что государство вправе применять оружие для защиты своей территории. Если ты бежишь от войны, пожалуйста, регистрируйся, получай документы, работай. Мне кажется, страна очень комфортная для жизни и, по-моему, очень толерантно относится ко всем беженцам. Я бежала от войны, И тем не менее, за 2 года мы тоже здесь и открыли бизнес, и работаем, и платим налоги.
What are your thoughts on the border here in Poland as someone from Ukraine?
Fine. It's really fine. Yeah, it's no problem with everything.
Was it easy to get here from Ukraine?
Yeah,
Okay.
really easy. Few hours
And you fled for political asylum? Or you work here? Why did you come?
I work. Yeah, I
Okay.
work.
I believe like in most Poland, especially like the eastern part in Warsaw, we are like fully open for everybody who wants to come here in every purpose. A lot of people lost their houses, lost the safety in their life.
Yeah.
So I do not see any problem with that. In my opinion, I don't have any problem with that.
Even illegally?
You know what? In my opinion, it is like hard to be illegally
Yeah.
at this moment because you have to cross the border. I think this is not like the main spectrum of a problem. Most of them want to be here legally because they want to have a work.
So if they come to Poland, but they are from a country that's not a neighboring country to Poland, should they be allowed to come in here and be a refugee?
Yes, sure, because we've been in this situation in
I
Poland.
see.
We have a trouble history, so we need a help for our neighbor.
What are your thoughts on illegal immigration?
I think the crime rate is going much higher so far.
So what about like Syrian refugees, like Afghanistan refugees, Eritrea? Are they close enough to be considered neighbors, or should they go to the neighboring country?
They're not like, of course, geographically they're not our neighbors, but if they looking for a safe place, they want to be here legally, they want to have a work, they want to build a new life, I don't see a problem with that.
Have you heard about the Belarusian-Polish hybrid war, they call it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Of course, this is not correct. I mean, to allow or to bring people from outside just to push them in EU.
But before heading to the Poland-Belarus border to see what Poland says is a hybrid warfare at play where Russia is sending migrants from China and Africa into Poland for them to then enter the rest of the EU and then financially and socially destabilize the rest of Europe. I met up with Dominique, member of the European Parliament and Poland's Law and Justice Party. Is this man a racist, alt-right Islamophobe as the mainstream media and leftist detractors call him? I want to ask him, how does Poland's new border wall work? Can any refugees come in? What is this hybrid war? And how does their border control differ from other EU countries? And more importantly, does it work?
And I'm very happy that we are on the street, not in the studio. You can see and everyone can see the difference. It's beautiful.
Would this look different in Paris, London, anywhere in Germany? What are your thoughts?
I think the easiest way to answer it is Eurostat is the most important when it comes to the data.
Okay.
The safest country in Europe, Poland. The lowest unemployment, Poland. The less crimes, Poland. So if you ask me about any data, we are leaders. And that is the fact. It's not my political opinion. When I quote this in European Parliament, they were very unhappy.
Also, if you want to support our boots on the ground independent journalism that is not bought and paid for by corporate interests, along with uncensored early access to all my videos before they go up on YouTube, and exclusive DLC content that YouTube won't let me upload, go subscribe at patreon.com/Tyler Oliveira for less than $5 a month.
The whole discussion on migration started in 2015 when Germany started this madness. In 2018, I said quite famous words: zero illegal migration in Warsaw, in every single Polish city. We don't want any illegals. Then they called me Islamophobe. If someone is from China, if someone is from India, or someone is, it doesn't matter who he is, what he believes in. If he's illegal, we do not want that. The difference between refugee and a migrant, especially illegal migrant, is very, very, very clear. The refugee is the person who flee from the country of conflict to the first safe country. I didn't know that Syria is bordering country with Poland.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay.
To the first safe country. That is why we took over 2 million Ukrainians. Legal.
Because you are contiguous, you guys border.
That's right. That's right.
In the case of Syria, Afghanistan, Eritrea, that is not the case.
They are not refugees. I'm trying to repeat it every single time. If you want to come, you can come. Submit your documents, ask for a visa, stay here for 6 or 10 months, pay taxes, contribute to the society, then you are welcome. Why not? We are not North Korea.
Sure. Why are Syrian, Afghanistan refugees coming to Poland and not
migrants?
UAE.
Why Qatar did not react? Why
aren't they going to Qatar?
Very rich Arab country.
Okay.
Where is Qatar? I'm trying to ask this question for years now. And I cannot find any answers because we've been told that this is a global problem, so there is a need for a global solidarity. So there is no global solidarity.
Sure.
Like Qatar is the great example. Our soldier was killed with a spear by the illegal.
Terrible.
So that would happen on the streets if we would let them in. They started this madness by willkommen politik.
Okay.
That was the politic, welcoming illegals because they were hoping for cheap labor. Okay. They found out that those who came illegally, they don't want to work. They don't want to work, but there's much more crimes.
Sure.
So they said, okay, let's spread them around. Let's say that this is our responsibility and European solidarity, and then we're gonna get rid of this problem. So in European Union, they started the thing they called quota system.
Okay.
Each country should take migrants. They called refugees. That's how they call them. They says you're gonna pay like 22,000 euros per person if you will not take them in.
And you guys said no, we are not doing that.
Of course not.
What were the consequences to that old action, I suppose?
They tried to force us to take illegals. We said no, it's better to pay, it's better to have frozen assets, whatever, rather than risk our own life.
Okay.
And look at the streets now.
Do a pan?
There you go.
Has Poland always been this way, Dominic?
This is what is needed to understand why we cherish our freedom so much.
All right.
Because of Russia, because of Germany. Historically, Poland did not exist for 123 years. We gained our independence back in 1918. So after that, after 1918, we had a little bit of freedom. But then in 1939, Germany and Russia attacked.
Both fronts?
Both. And we had this terrible communism in Poland for 70 years. That's why I hate Putin. I hate him. Because he's trying to go back to the Soviet Union era. The way he behaved, the way Russia behaved is unpredictable. 123 years.
What did he say?
Finally, we have an MP with a great English.
There we go. When did this hybrid war begin? Is this an act of Russia trying to antagonize?
Of course. It's because when you go through the papers, you see that the guys who came to Belarus are with the Russian visas.
Okay.
So we know that by the fact, it's not an opinion.
I see.
So the whole process of traveling is organized by Russia. And because of the green border with Belarus, they are able to come to Belarus and attack our borders. So it's organized by Russia, of course. And they want to destabilize Poland and other countries because the whole thing is not only about Poland, Hungary, Italy, and others. In this part of Europe, we know that Russia is responsible.
And when you push back against the Muslim refugees, illegal immigrants, whoever they were, why did they call you an Islamophobe? What happened there?
First of all, it's not true.
Okay.
One of my closest friends, his friend is from Syria.
Okay.
He came here legally. He started his company.
Yeah.
He paid taxes. He's been here for many years.
Right.
And we are very close friends. And he's from Syria, and he says, never ever let them come in. Oh, of course, they call us racist. They call us Islamophobes. It's not true. They try to tell us that the doctors will come, engineers will come, that our society.
Sure.
It's all bull.
Do you need doctors?
Of course not.
Do you need more doctors?
But we need doctors, not doctors,
Do you
right?
need their doctors?
No, thank you. Take them. I want Poland to be like this. Look.
Now, is most of the Polish government in agreement with your stances on this?
This phrase, be like Poland, because of decisions which were made by our government. Yes. Dzień dobry.
Dużo sukcesów w Europarlamencie.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Dobrą robotę pan robi.
Dziękuję.
Dominic, you're loved far and wide here, it seems. It's like this message is resonating with a lot of the public.
And you have to remember that this is a very liberal city.
Sure. Are you a big fan of them?
Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me about the live bullets, the fact that you can now kill illegal immigrants trying to enter the border.
I love it. If you are trying to commit a crime on the Polish soil, you might be dead. We do not know if you're a refugee, a migrant, or a terrorist. That's why after our soldier was killed, our parliament passed a law that we can use live bullets to protect our nation. We heard that it appeared, but there is no such a zombie cities like San Francisco. We don't have that. You know why?
Why not?
Because we are protecting our border.
Okay.
That's the way they trying to smuggle it into the country. Any illegal activity is always connected to the drugs or guns.
but drugs is a very good business. So it's not only about having illegals, it's also about security and anti-drugs war. So we are winning at the moment. You can see how happy people are,
Putin toilet paper.
how safe they feel. You can tell. It's just beautiful. You can't see this kind of thing in Europe anymore.
When do you think the rest of Europe lost this?
When they decided to be politically correct, it started with the leftists. This is what they want. They want diversity. What kind of diversity? With a knife and a rifle? Is this diversity?
Beautiful.
You do not see soldiers with the rifles as you see in London or in France. There's no need. We are not racist. We are not Islamophobes. We are logical. So I think it's very important to have this discussion, our discussion, while eating.
Okay.
I tell you why.
Why?
Because it's so peaceful. Can you show around?
Beautiful.
How peaceful it is. You don't feel any stress. You do not feel any anxiety. You don't feel threatened by anyone. You don't have anyone coming to your table.
But to be fair, you can also see this kind of a place you can find in Europe or in North America, in Canada, US. It just depends on which neighborhood you are in. I understand what they're showing. I mean, it's because of their strict stance towards immigration, and especially towards illegal immigration. They have kept their streets very safe and clean, and it's all good. I mean, especially for women and children, women, they don't have to be scared of going out, and maybe children, young mothers don't have to be so worried about their little children when they are maybe roaming around in Poland. Versus in America, children don't go out of the houses anymore because it's so unsafe. In the playgrounds in Canada and in America, children, I mean, in Canada they still go out in certain in the suburbs they do, because Canadian suburbs are still quite safe, and because of the nature of the Canadian people, they're very friendly, and I think, frankly speaking, it's because of the climate. From my experience, cold climates tend to bring down people, make them a little more humble, so they're not very aggressive. You see all these violence and aggression, it's mostly in hot countries. You look at Africa, for example. There's not a single country in Africa that doesn't have violence and murder and rape, but in cold countries, people are generally humbled down because of the climate, I believe. I mean, it has a psychological impact on because of the climate, and they also drink a lot, which like kind of calms them down. They smoke marijuana. These things all have an effect, definitely. Climate, I think climate has a significant impact on the way people behave in a particular geographical area. I mean, the geographical area has a big impact. Of the climate has an impact on the minds of people. But you can find places like this in any first world country.
And asking for money or whatever. You just sit, relaxing, you have a nice beer, and then you have beautiful pierogies. This is what I love about Poland. That's why.
Do you guys have homeless people here?
Well, every country has homeless, but can you see any?
Why are the women so beautiful here?
What about men? Hello.
No offense to the guys.
No. Poland is the last stronghold of normality in Europe and in the world in many, many ways. Come and visit.
And you made sure I wasn't a Russian propaganda asset, right?
I hope you're not. You would be killed.
All right.
The whole process of replacement is just a fact, by the numbers. It's not my political opinion. By the numbers, we are in a very, very bad situation. And listen to me, I do understand that you will have maybe someone who will translate it into Arabic or any other. Do not come to the Polish border.
What will happen if you do and you try to enter illegally?
You might be killed. If you'll come here illegally, you will try to harm any of our soldiers, you will be killed. Cheers.
Cheers to pierogis, to Poland, and
Come. I'm telling you.
DUM on
This is the only interview in my whole career where I let.
This guy is like the poster boy of right-wing government. I mean, he's the stereotypical and typical right-wing person, strong, intolerant. Not hating on him. It's just an observation, though. I mean, no one is perfect. Liberals are not perfect. Right-wingers are not perfect. It's just whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Let someone record me while I'm eating.
How is it? As a man of the people.
It tastes like freedom. It's Saturday night. Look. There's no beggars. There's no homeless. There's no fentanyl. We don't do Chick-fil-A. We don't
McDonald's.
No, we don't.
Burger King.
No, we don't.
KFC.
No, we don't. We do proper Polish, very healthy food.
What are your thoughts on Poland?
We arrived yesterday, so...
Where are you from?
Rome. Italy, yeah.
Do you feel safer as a woman?
Yes, yeah.
Do you feel safe in Rome as a woman? Or Italy, sorry?
No, not at all.
Why?
It's dangerous.
Where are you from?
Italy is a country which with a lot of machismo. Like if you're into culture, like if you watch movies from different countries, and if you're generally into the culture of people, culture and whatnot, the general culture of a country, Italy has that old school abusive masculine culture. It has that women crushing culture. Like they like literally they. Like abusing women is kind of like embedded into the culture of Italy. I just don't know. I mean, because of it's just how it is. I mean, because of history or whatever. Italy had a lot of it has a lot of bad history. No, I mean, it has its own unique history, which makes it like it. So Italian women are very attractive and very beautiful. And Italy has that old school mafioso culture, right? Where the men are very like hyper masculine and hyper toxic, and it has a very negative impact on the freedom of women in Italy, which you will see what these women are talking.
When you compare Rome, which I visited, what do you feel like?
Because it's not safe.
Why is it not safe?
Because we don't feel safe, like walking alone at night.
Who are you afraid of at night?
Men.
Which men? Men in general, or specific types of men who come from different places?
Like men.
Italian men?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What do you think?
Can I ask you?
Here's the thought.
Can we please order in the meanwhile?
Yes, they do.
Should you buy them one?
Thank you.
Should you buy them one? No? Okay, they don't need it. They can buy their own. Why do you think they feel unsafe in Rome? Let's be honest.
Because of Africans. They are afraid to say something.
So his argument is that African migration to Italy has had an impact increasing the rape in Italy, for example, or in Germany, or in France, or in UK. Would that be accurate? Would you stand on business to that fact?
No. But when we meet like a guy in the street, we don't know if he's Italian, English, Spanish. It's like potentially dangerous.
Okay.
Can I ask you for your... What do you think about Prime Minister Meloni?
Go. Meloni. She's going to deport people now. What are your thoughts on that?
What do you think about her?
Good or bad? No trick answer. Honestly.
Good or bad?
Totally bad. A bad person.
Why is she bad?
She's not tolerant. She's racist.
Oh, she's racist. She's not tolerant. Oh, so you don't know who's raping?
What do you mean? I don't understand the question. Like you're trying to say something?
She doesn't understand the question.
What are you trying to say? This?
Okay, so one more question. Who's gonna win in US? What do you think? It's gonna be Kamala or Trump?
Hopefully Kamala.
There you go. Thank you very much. Ladies, have a beautiful night in August. We support leftists in US. Why they want Kamala to win when they are not happy about safety
Did you see that? Did you observe that? I mean, if you're observant, you can observe so many things. I observe so many things in people from the little interactions that they do. If you're observant enough, you can observe so much. Like,
who's gonna win in
did you observe how uncomfortable these women were getting because of the way these men were being aggressive in their questioning and in their thought process? It just you can see what I'm talking about here. Look at her. Look at the woman on the left. They're not comfortable with this situation, and it just shows in today's world how divided the two genders have become. You can see it in this interaction. You can clearly see it. How much of a difference there has been created of the men and women. They're so divided in today's times. It's just it's unimaginable. It is what it is. The division that has happened. Nobody has done it, by the way. It's just the result of natural chaos. I mean, I think that the world is. People think or somebody thinks that Illuminati controls the world, right? Powerful organizations, secret organizations. North Korea secretly controls the world, or Area 51 in America is secretly controlling the world. Nobody is controlling the world. The world is totally out of control. Everything is just happening. Things just happen here. Random occurrences. And right now, the situation is basically that the two genders, men and women, are so divided. Like earlier, maybe this division has just surfaced because of in today's time. So we have progress as a species, right? And I would say that in some sense we have reached the ultimate point of progress. And after this, there's no more progress left. So our civilization is just going to end. Just I think so, but nobody can predict such a thing. It's just a speculation. But what happened was, like, think of our parents' generation. Women in our parents' generation, they didn't have any kind of freedom, right? But even, like, doesn't matter which country they were in India or in Europe. I mean, obviously, even in today's time, European women have so much freedom. Women in first world countries, white women have so much freedom. It's unimaginable the level of freedom white women have in today's world. But still, like in our previous generation, women didn't used to have any freedom. So what used to happen was women used to just accept. Like, we live in a world full of men who are going to be dominant over us, and we are not going to like it, but we don't have a choice. But in today's world, because we have progress as a species, so women now have freedom, and it's almost equal or maybe fully equal to men, because men have become more feminine compared to previous generations. Men, even in today's, even you think like Andrew Tate is a toxic male, right? I mean, if you compare him to the Vikings or like the old school Game of Thrones kind of men, he's nothing. His toxicity is nothing. He's like a little kid who's out of control. So in today's generation, because men have less testosterone, so women don't have to be so much afraid of men anymore, especially in countries like this where women are safe. Especially in countries like Canada or in Switzerland, in Poland or in Norway, for example, where women are extremely safe because the men. What guarantees the safety of women? Any place. Just make this observation. Anywhere, any country or any place where women are safe, they're safe because the men over there are weaker. any country where men are stronger, it's just will naturally reduce the freedom and safety of women. It's just how it is. It's just basic chemistry and biology. The more testosterone men have in their system in any particular country, for example, in India, Indian men are very hyper toxic masculine, which is why the women in India are not safe. Women in Saudi Arabia, think of that. Women in Saudi Arabia are extremely unsafe. They're so unsafe that they cannot even show any part of their body, because if they show, the men have so much testosterone that they won't be able to control themselves, and they will end up raping these women. And so they have created the laws in such a way that their logic, their thought process is that, you know, men cannot control themselves, so we need to cover the women, which is funny because we are privileged enough to know how funny it is. It's not funny for them or not funny for anybody, but it's funny for us because it's funny for me because I'm privileged enough to just sit comfortably on my chair and watch this on YouTube instead of being directly involved in this kind of problems with my male privilege and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, both the genders, men and women, are so divided, are so complicated. My frustrations when it comes to talking about men and women, my frustrations are like on another level, like, because I have no solution. I don't even know how to process this, the difference, and how to process this whole situation when it comes to men and women.
Gonna be Kamala or Trump?
Hopefully Kamala.
There you go.
Hopefully Kamala, of course. Like I mentioned in my previous video, women are definitely gonna vote for Kamala Harris because they won't be comfortable voting for a toxic masculine figure like Donald Trump. But on the other hand, because in countries, especially like America, where women have so much freedom that the men are struggling to survive as men, they're gonna obviously vote for someone like Donald Trump. It's so clear. The difference is so clear. Because everybody is selfish, so everybody's just gonna think about themselves. And I really don't know where this kind of a distorted future is gonna. I have no idea what kind of future we are heading towards with this kind of distorted, culturally corrupt generation that we have upon us right now. Like, I don't know.
Go. Thank you very much. Ladies, have a beautiful night in August. We support leftists in US. Why they want Kamala to win when they are not happy about safety in Italy because of illegal migration? What the is going on in their brains?
They said a few words that I think are important. Inclusivity,
right?
Acceptance,
right?
This guy has changed after 2 beers. Oh, God knows how many beers they've had. But suddenly it's like he's becoming. I mean, as the night is it's the night time and they're a little bit drunk. It brings out the reality of people. Alcohol.
I think that's it.
The real.
What I love about alcohol is that alcohol removes the filter completely, and you see the true faces of the people. Because when people are sober, they're very cautious about what they're talking about. But you put 2 pegs, whatever, like I don't know those terminologies. You give them 2 shots of tequila, or I don't know, 5 shots of tequila, I don't know. And when they get that buzz going, and then they open up. People just open up, and this is transparent. It's good in that situation. It's good if you are drunk with the other person. A group of drunk people is good. They somehow I feel like drunk people have a connection with each other. But when you are the only sober person, but like try being sober in a group of drunk people. Not good. You're not gonna enjoy it. You won't be able to match the vibe with the drunk people if you're not drunk yourself.
Acceptance is in Poland.
I'm from Iraq, I'm Kurdish, and it's been 2 years I live in Gdańsk. I study masters.
So what are you doing in Poland?
Yeah, I study masters in international business.
So you are from Iraq, moving to Poland to study?
Yep.
Are you legally in Poland?
I'm legally in Poland.
Okay. You're very welcome. If
Thank
you are
you very
legally
much.
out, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it. I watch all of your videos and I totally support you. I love that you respect your country. Because I'm also like,
are you Christian?
I'm an expert.
Oh, interesting.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
True love.
Whatever you are, whatever your faith is, if you are legally in here, you are very welcome.
That was so. Okay, fine. No comment.
I really like that you put Poland and Polish people first before anything else. That, like you said, we have normality here.
Okay, normality.
We don't have chaos here.
Okay.
You can express your whatever you are. Just don't push your agenda on someone else. I'm with my girlfriend, and I.
Where is she? Come over. Come over. Is she Polish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dzień dobry.
Hello.
Mam na imię Dominik. Cześć.
You're super. You just get married.
You're very welcome.
There we go.
You see the difference between illegal and legal presence in here.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, have a beautiful night.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
She was chair.
It feels like I'm taking it back 100 years ago. Like, so the thing about Europe is that Europe is like, it's like time stopped in Europe. Sometimes I feel like when I look at Europe, it feels like the vibe over there is like so 19th century, like no modern future, no AI, no technology. It's good. I mean, it's good, the peace and everything. Love it. But like I said, you cannot have everything. There's certain beauty to progress as well. When I think of maybe I'm young or maybe I'm an enthusiast, I don't know. But technology gives me such a technology gives me such a hard on. Like it's like I don't know. I mean, progress is also important. We cannot be stuck in the past, in that nostalgic comfort zone. I mean, that's good. I mean, to visit those places once in a while. But I think progress cannot be stopped. So why not accept what's coming? Because you have no choice. I don't think, like this man says, right? Poland is in many ways, so the last, like Poland is like the last country in Europe which still has that European charm, right? Like he says, and I totally agree with him. But it's not without, nothing comes without a cost. The cost of that resistance for growth is that growth. Like the world is moving on. The world has changed. We are living in the era of AI now. In a few years, we are gonna communicate on virtual reality goggles. Everything is changing. The world is completely changed. We as humans, what it means to be a human, the very definition of being a human being is gonna completely change in the next 5 to 10 years. So in some ways, it's actually a little bit stupid to hold back to that old cultural heritage and whatnot. How long are you gonna hold yourself back? I mean,
She was taken care of. If you want this Hollywood movies, this beautiful stories of love to be real, you will not respect our women, we're gonna take care of you.
Simple.
You can.
And with gratitude and respect.
Pay your taxes, get Polish wife, become a Polish. Be like Poland.
After a night out on the safe streets of Warsaw, Dominique took me to Poland's border they share with Belarus to show me a project they've spent $2.5 billion on to help keep Poland Polish. So we're here. This place looks brand new. They're not messing around. They're strapped. They got camouflage. They got big guns. They're not here smiling. They're here straight-faced. Who are you? Why are you here? So luckily we have the clearance. We should be good to go through. Let's see how big and bad this wall is. They're not messing around.
but I'm of the opinion that we need strong armed police officers. Like police officers, like people say, like in America, police is so police brutality, right? People complain about police brutality in America and in so many countries, right? But police don't have to be brutal. But if the people like I believe that countries like Saudi Arabia and Dubai, especially Dubai, has set such a good example. And from my experience in Saudi Arabia, I believe that Saudi Arabia has also set a very good example. It doesn't get so much of media attention when it comes to Saudi Arabia. I can tell you from my own experience there, I was like, what I saw was, I felt actually very safe in Saudi Arabia because of the strong presence of authoritarian police kind of mindset. Like nobody, I felt like nobody would even think of doing something wrong or for example, harassing someone on the street. Or like, I'm a foreigner, right? In Saudi Arabia, I'm going there as a foreigner. I didn't feel for a second that I need to be worried about. Whenever I travel in India, I sometimes feel like in India I have to be worried about because I get looks. Like India, there's such a bad and horrible staring culture, which I absolutely hate. Like in India, people just for no reason stare at each other. When you go out in the public, I mean, it's just a culture. It's just embedded into it. Everybody just stares each other directly into their eyes. Like, what's with that, man? Like, why don't you just go about your own business? Why do you have to stare at people? Whenever it's not like people say like women get stared at, but it's just the stare culture is not even about sexual attraction or anything like that. I mean, it's about when women get stared at, it's because of sexual attraction. But in general, people get looks like stone cold looks like this. Like people, in India, you're gonna see like people will be on their phone, and whenever you walk past them, they'll be like, "What's with that, man? Why are you staring?" Like, I mean, this is kind of weird in my experience. So, I mean, what was I talking? Why did I bring up the stare culture? So, like. Because, like, I forgot, like, why did I bring up the stare culture?
Okay, that's...
Oh, yeah, the police thing. So, police, I think a strong presence of police is important. I just feel that, yeah.
It seemed intense. They did not play around.
No jokes.
Did they know who you were?
Yes, they know, but the procedure is procedure, and I respect that.
Yeah.
This is the border of European Union with Belarus. We are the ones with this border, so we are protecting the whole Europe.
How new is this?
Well, the wall was built very, very fast. I must say, when the first attempts, look, soldiers all the way through, but don't record them.
Okay.
Don't record them.
I'm pointing at myself. This is a training camp. This is home. What is this? They live here?
Well, when they have a service night, they have a place to change and prepare and this and that. It's a lot of them. Our border was not ready for that. But what we did, we reacted straight away. We built the wall. You're going to see the wall in a minute.
After the murder of the guard?
No, that was beforehand. When the whole madness started in Europe, our government decided, okay, that's enough. We're not taking all this crap. We're going to build the wall.
So but how exactly are they sending the refugees or the illegal immigrants?
What they do, they invite them to Russia.
Okay.
They are getting tourist visa. They pay for it. Then they are transported from Moscow or other places in Russia to Belarus and then to the border, Polish border.
And I've seen some TikTok videos of people trying to break through the wall.
Well, yes, they try every single night.
Sure.
It's not like you don't have to protect it. You do have to protect it.
Okay.
Let's park here and walk.
Amazing. Okay? It looks peaceful out here. What time do people start trying to break into the wall?
Every night about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay. This is when they trying to cross the border. They know that this is the best time. Oh, you can see soldiers now. Okay. You can see some guys.
So he's aware of our presence. He's on guard.
You just said that it's very peaceful.
Sure.
It is peaceful. It took us 30 seconds to have a soldier reacting for someone's presence. Nie przekraczamy, mamy...
Mógł mi pan przypomnieć, jak się pan nazywa?
Dominik Tarczyński.
Okay.
Does he know you?
Yes, but you have to say your name. There's no jokes. That's why I think they're professional. They know their job.
A to trzeba mieć zakrytą, tak?
No najlepiej by było, bo to też dla własnego spokoju, nie? Że oni później nagrywają i widzą, kto tutaj wchodzi, kto nie wchodzi. No.
Tak?
No tak, nie wiadomo, kto się wczai w krzakach, nie? Także to jest dla własnego bezpieczeństwa.
So he says if we don't have masks, for us it's not good to be there because they are recording Russians and Belarusians. They want to know who's into the subject, who's interested in the border protection. So for our own safety, if we don't have a mask, we shouldn't enter because it's not safe. It's a war. It's not a joke.
So we'd be in the database.
But it's so weird. I mean, because like this guy said, the Russians and the Belarusians, they are interested to know who has an interest in the whole thing. But won't they be watching this documentary on YouTube to know that? I mean, what is that about?
Yeah.
And is this largely contested right here? Are people trying to go through this?
Right. That's
shorter, much shorter compared to
and
this.
it was thousands of them.
Thousands
of them in one day. They were trying to force Polish border and they lost.
Okay.
We stopped them. It was, I don't know, maybe 10,000 of them. A lot. So a lot of things going on at the moment.
Look at that. There's clothes right there. Right. People are trying to get over this.
Straight away. So I'm proud to be here, to see this soldiers and to see their service and to see the wall. Because when I see the wall, I do understand that this is for my future children, for my future wife, for my future family. I would say to every single leftist, if you don't believe that this is war, come and see. Come and see.
Let's say I'm from Syria. I want to go through this wall. I break through the wall. What happens to me next?
You're killed. Dead.
Shot.
You will die like a dog. You can hear now.
Who was that? Belarus?
Yeah. You can hear them. Yeah.
Who was that? It's a speaker or people?
Yeah. No, the people. They're in the groups. They communicate as well. They're very well organized. I think they are. Some of them are trained, paid, obviously.
Sure.
They are not just simple people.
Like mercenary groups?
Oh yes. You can tell that Russia pays well to destabilize, like Poland and other countries. They want us to spend money on this rather than around healthcare or anything else. One of their colleagues was killed just from this kind of distance.
Yeah.
He with the spear.
With a spear?
Yes, so it's not safe for us to be here because it's just a moment and you might be dead. But 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, the war starts every night. Every night.
And then we hopped in the car to visit another part of Poland's border deep in the forest. It used to be a completely weak border just a few years ago. A little bit creepy out here.
Oh yeah. You wanted to come and see.
Yeah.
And this is reality.
Sure. Keeping our eyes peeled to see if we see anyone in the forest. It's not impossible to get through the wall, but it's highly unlikely given the amount of security here. I thought this would be a little bit more lax, like some parts of the southern border in the US. This is not relaxed.
This is war. This is completely actual war.
We made it. We'll hop out so you can see, but this wall is in the middle of the forest. The road is not even paved, just to emphasize how rural this location is.
We had to do it in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
There was no infrastructure.
Sure.
Because that is a green border.
Yeah.
So
okay, so we see soldiers already.
We can see the border actually as it is. Look how long it is.
Yeah. And not only that, we have barbed wall and then another wall, double wall.
And then you have got soldiers, right? So that's very important.
Yeah. Fully masked up with their faces too.
They are recorded by Russian, so they don't want to.
And there's cameras in the forest right now?
Oh yeah.
Recording Polish soldiers.
That's right.
So day in, day out, they're watching these walls.
They're probably gonna ask, who are we?
Sure. Fair question. All those cameras right there. Massive surveillance. Hi.
Everyone who died because of the terrorists in Europe is because your lack of decisions, lack of bravery, political correctness. You are responsible. Leftists are responsible for chaos in Europe. And they think they fight us, Republicans, conservatives. You're not fighting us. You're fighting with your own nations. We are protecting our own nations. And this is the proof. Can you hear that?
Whoa.
They're throwing stuff.
We heard it. I heard a rock.
Yeah.
Should we say hi?
No, they're throwing rocks.
Why?
Because they behave like animals, unfortunately. They don't behave like civilized people. You can see on the video.
This long?
They can easily, like long spear, it's like on the video when our soldier was killed, it's easy for them to throw it and kill you.
Let's get out of here. So if you can't hear it on the mic, they're throwing rocks right now. People do want to get in. The question is, when will they try and how will they be punished? Let's get out of here, yeah? After seeing the symbol of Poland's defiance against the EU's push towards diversity, open borders, and economic opportunity for those less fortunate from countries that are culturally dissimilar, I met up with Dominique in Brussels to see where Europe's elite politicians meet and decide the fate of an entire continent.
Okay, let's go. I'll show you how we do it.
Amazing. What's the current split between liberals and conservatives in parliament right now?
It's about 100 conservatives on 720 MEPs. So it's not much, but I think it's better to be a strong, small group rather than a massive. You know the story of 300.
Sure.
It's us.
What are your thoughts on the rest of parliament here, the EU in general?
I don't like it.
What are your thoughts on Brussels?
I don't like it at all. Okay. I tell you why. Again, I'm trying to be very objective, but I cannot be blind on statistics. Rapes, killings, stealings, stabbings. We don't have it in Poland.
Sure.
And when you see official data from here, from Eurostat, you see how Poland great is. It's so sad. But then when we are trying to tell them what is the reason of all this. They don't want to listen. They think that they're better, smarter. And now, yeah.
How large of a check would I have to write to buy you out?
You don't have this kind of money.
Okay.
You see, the difference between me and the rest is that I don't need sponsors. I don't need it. That's why they don't own me. That's why I can say what I think and what I believe. This is what they're afraid of. The voice of the people.
Oh, this is it?
This is it.
If we pop in?
Yes, it's closed, right? It's closed. Okay, so this is the place where we take votes, and this is the place where we have speeches. We have two buildings. This is the machines for voting.
Okay. What will it take to make Europe great again, in your opinion?
To go back to the roots, Roman law, Greek philosophy, Christianity, not only as a faith, but also as a culture, as the way of living, mentality, art, music, everything. That's why I think Roman law, Greek philosophers, and what we had, not only last century, but throughout century, is great. I want to raise...
Won't happen. Won't ever happen. I totally understand where this guy is coming from. I mean, I admire people. To be honest, I admire people like him. I understand what they're talking about. I truly feel that. But the fact is that it would be wrong to call it a fact, but I can tell you with 100% guarantee that this is what he just said will never happen, because he is talking about a world Roman Empire. What are we talking about? This is 2024. We are in an era of AI. Like we're in an era where we are creating video out of thin air. I mean, we are generating videos we're generating graphics that looks like videos, that looks like real people. What is this guy talking about? Roman Empire. It will never happen. But I totally get it. I mean, I get what he's talking about.
Raise my future children as a Christians. So when you see attacks on Europe, you see attacks on Christianity, mainly on Catholics.
In 20 years, how do you think Europe will look like at this rate?
It's going to be very, very bad. It's not going to change for better. I think it will be more killings, more stabbings, more...
This is why the liberals don't take conservatives seriously when they talk about things like this. So when the video started, everything was good, but you can clearly see as the video is progressing, he's revealing that he's actually a very orthodox Christian. He's a very orthodox conservative person who will not accept anything that he doesn't like. Which says what? It says that he's not an open-minded person. Which is why the liberals doesn't like conservatives, and they push their liberal agenda even further to fight the conservatives. We need centrism. Centrist is the right way. People need to be sensible in the way they talk. What is this guy talking about? Christianity. Who cares about Christianity or about religion in a modern, post-modern era where we have so much technology that we don't need religion or anything like that to govern our lives? We need laws. We need enforceable laws which are pro-human rights, which is gonna cater towards the need of people, which is gonna be fair to individuals, to like fair in the sense that nobody's right is gonna get hurt because of somebody else's right. We need peace. We need strong government. We need police force which are enforcing the laws and not turning into some kind of authoritarian a-holes, I mean, in the process. So we need sensibility. We need more sensible minds. I mean, this is just what he's talking about is going to create the gap even bigger. It's making the gap even bigger. In no way the liberals are correct. The liberals have their own, like they're flying and airy-fairy and, I'm questioning their gender identities. Today I'm this, tomorrow I'm that. They're on their own seventh heaven. They have completely left the earth. And conservatives are so grounded that they don't understand that what about the middle way? What about centrism? Centrism is going to fix the world. It's going to end wars. When people, there has to be some kind of a what is it called? A compromise on both sides. Start bargaining. Somebody says, no, the price, my last price is $100, and you say, no, that's too much. The last price is $50. You have to meet somewhere in the middle, right? You have to make it $75. You have to meet in the middle. Where's the middle ground? Everybody just wants their stuff.
More terrorist attacks, more wokeness, unless most of the nations will change their governments. So please God, they will wake up. But the change will start if Donald Trump wins in US. Because whatever happens in US, it happens in Europe 6 or 10 months later.
Do you think we'll see walls like what we saw in Poland and other European countries soon?
It's a matter of time.
Yeah?
100%. The final word to the viewers and to you would be always remember who you are. Be proud of who you are. Do not be afraid. Be brave. Fight and make your life great.
I know this is a tough one. Dominic, are you single?
Yes, I am. Why?
I don't know. I'm sure some viewers might be curious.
What kind of question is that?
Come on, you got to think about family, no?
Yeah, I am single, so thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Be like Poland.
Be like Poland. Be brave. Cheers.
Bye.
So that was a video, and hope you enjoyed it, and hope you learned something from it. And well, I mean, this guy he looks like a teddy bear, don't you think? I mean, looks like a fluffy teddy bear, but he's not a teddy bear in any way. Like, he's very authoritarian. But he's also kind of he's like a cute authoritarian. He's very cute in his demeanor and everything. but I think he's cool. I mean, he's a cool guy. I mean, he's not like North Korean dictator or something. But yeah, I mean, he's not a centrist. People need to respect both sides. People need to listen to both sides. Otherwise, how are we gonna solve? How are we gonna bring peace to the world if you say like, no, it's gonna be all about me? It doesn't work like that. You gotta listen to everybody and make a compromise. Everybody has to make a compromise so that everybody can meet somewhere in the middle. Anyways, take care, guys. Have a good one. Peace.